8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
I want to say greetings, good evening, how you doing? Let's have a little fun on this Thursday night, 30th day of March. 10 minutes after the top of the hour and set and ready to play. Live in a multiple location station. This is the Shooters Gallery live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network and ProWrestlingRadio.net. Live from Studio 1B, my little corner of the cave. I am the Magic City Motor Mouth Fast Eddie Layne. Welcoming in tag team partner. One title gone, but he has a chance at another one tomorrow night from the Peach State, Mr. Shane Noles.
Oh, man, it is WrestleMania week, everyone, and I feel like Eddie and I are two of the only few people in the pro wrestling business that are not around Orlando, Florida.
No, actually, good friends of mine, Francisco Chiazzo and Stormy Lee, are still in Tennessee, but they're leaving out tomorrow morning. I thought about getting a rental car and sneaking down to Orlando, but I don't like to do stuff like that. So you know that everything is going to be packed. There's like 19 shows taking place between tonight and Monday morning. And I did say Monday morning because there is Wrestling Revolver is teaming up with another show that is going to kick off midnight-ish Eastern time in Orlando as part of WrestleCon after Mania wraps up. So when Mania sounds the final bell and says, good night, everybody, this company's going to kick into a show.
That's beautiful.
I know it.
And I read a column Paul Heyman wrote for Yahoo Sports where he's like, how the mindset has changed. 6 or 7 years ago, it was considered company suicide if you ran an independent show at the location where Mania was at. Now it's almost like you're an idiot if you don't take advantage of that if you're somewhere near the area.
Right. And if you haven't seen the lineup for WrestleCon that is in progress in Orlando right now, holy cow.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
I mean, they did a sit-down Q&A earlier today where I can't remember the fourth person. There were 4 people involved. Flair, Sting, Jim Ross, and somebody else was on the stage. I saw the graphic or saw the picture. And it's like, yeah, that would be a mark-out moment for me to have Flair and Sting on the same stage, to be able to just Q&A it. And then you add Jim Ross. God knows he's been through so much lately, and I'm really impressed. And I don't want this to sound condescending, but with me recovering from bronchitis and trying to get my voice back, anything I say is going to sound off color. So I'm going to say it like that. I'll give everybody the preface. Don't take anything I say overly serious. It's just the voice is little by little coming back. With everything that Jim Ross has been through recently, my heart still goes out to him, and I give him all the credit in the world for honoring commitments. I mean, you'd think that somebody would want to take a little bit more personal time, but we all have our own methodologies for grieving and recovering, and I think this is probably very cathartic and therapeutic for him, so my hat's off. Shane?
Same here, yeah. When I read that he's going to fulfill all his obligations, I couldn't help but think, and I mean, this may sound morbid along with you. I'm not sick, but I apologize if mine comes across harsh. It's just I couldn't help but think of how grounded he was in the business by Bill Watts. Make your obligations, even with the spouse passing. You know, him saying being around friends and colleagues is going to help him heal. So kudos to him.
Going to come back over to WrestleCon in just a few minutes. Poll question that I decided to throw up. And yes, it was one of the weird ones. I decided to go against the grain. And something has just been gnawing at me, and it's going to sound weird for me to use the word gnawing and Nikki Bella in the same paragraph. But with everything that's been going on with SmackDown and Talking Smack, the Blue brand, with them trying, and you could see it coming a mile away. I saw it before the match was even close to being made. John Cena, Nikki Bella, Miz, and Maurice. There's 2 things. One thing is the poll question. With all the shots that have been laid down by Maurice and Miz about John Cena and his style and the relationship and how fake they say it is, wouldn't it just throw everybody for a loop if win, lose, or draw after the match, and I'm giving the full version of it, wouldn't it just if whether it's a work, whether it's real, if John proposed to Nikki after the match at Mania? My gut's saying yes. My Magic 8 Ball is saying yes. Both the full size and the keychain version. I have 2 of them. Leave me alone. And I've been getting so many people are playing both sides of the coin on this one. So I'm really appreciative of the fact that people have been paying attention on that one. Shane, let me get your thoughts on it. What do you think?
Well, first off, you brought up a interesting point I hadn't thought of. If he did it in spite of a defeat at the hands of Miz and Maurice. Now, I think that would be very interesting because those that may be thinking it's coming, if they go under Sunday and he still proposes, to me, that's cool. And that's just right off the cuff of you even bringing up that option. But, yeah, I do think it could happen. I think it's a very strong possibility, win or lose, because of the fact it's been alluded to. And, of course, this may be the idiot in me thinking in wrestling that if something is alluded to a couple of times, they're trying to wink, wink, steer you in the direction it's going to happen. Now, watch it not even be mentioned come Sunday. But I can definitely see that happening, especially with, it's common knowledge Cena's going to be taking some time off to make a movie. That was even part of his promo Tuesday night. And also, I'm sure this will be music to Eddie's ears, certainly not for the reasons with a neck injury, but this could be the curtain call for Nikki Bella, so it would kind of wrap things up in a beautiful bow for those two as far as a wrestling couple.
Like to welcome in the third member of the tandem this evening. He is on the road from Oregon to Idaho, Idaho. The voice, Ted Guinness. What's up, my brother? Tell you what, I'm gonna hang up and try to call you right back. We're gonna do it live. But from that vantage point, there's one other part to the swerve, this whole scenario with John and Nikki, Miz and Maurice. Like I said, I'm just looking at things in a totally weird, different way because, we're going to ask the questions. What match you think has got to answer the call? What match is going to be the one that should shine, should steal the show? Which one are you the least interested in? We're going to go through all that, of course. I'm going to hit some of it tonight and some of it on Sunday, BR Live, which is going to be going 5 to 6 Central Time. And prediction round for the cast will be over there. Told you we were doing it live just to see how things fly. Ha ha. While I'm still working to try to get Ted on the line, we're doing this live. Shane, I'm going to throw the other one. I'm going to throw the other half, the unasked poll question. What do you think about the concept and idea of, with everything the way it's been said? Uh-oh. Do me a favor. Folks, do me a favor. I have to take a call that's coming in right now. We're going to take a brief commercial break. We'll be back on the Shooter's Gallery right after this.
To an automatic voice message. This is Country Jack, Corey Hollis, and you are locked in to Beyond Ringside.
This is Evan Ginsberg, associate producer of the movie The Wrestler, host of Legends Radio and Legends TV, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
Okay, crisis averted. I'm not going to blow up the planet. Same thing we do every day, Pinky. Try to take over the world. Enough! Yeah, that was the worst brain impression that I've ever tried to do in my life. Welcome back in Shooter's Gallery Live on a Thursday night. Fast Eddie Layne, Shane Noles. Shane, welcome back, brother.
Thank you, sir. If that's the worst one you've had, I'd like to hear some of the others.
What, the worst brain impression?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Shoot. What can I say on that one? But let's see. Where were we before everything went chaotic?
Well, I believe you were in the middle of... Uh-oh.
Go ahead.
You were talking about how we were going to run down the WrestleMania card, of course, what match has to deliver, et cetera, et cetera. Which one are you most looking forward to? You alluded to the fact that would be covered not only tonight, but also Sunday on Corner to Corner. And then chaos broke, and here we are.
Yeah, there you go. From that vantage point, let me go ahead and try that. Ted's trying to call back in, and I'm trying to, but Skype once again is doing its screwy crap. So that's why we're trying to do this live all over again. The second half of the question. The second half of the situation. With everything that's been said and the way it's been done. Did we get him this time?
I don't know. Did you?
Yes, we did. Tedrick, welcome to the house.
Fix your your damn Skype, man. What's wrong with you?
Dude, I don't know. It's Skype. Normally it works, but I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, after tonight, I swear I'm going to uninstall it and reinstall it just to see if it'll straighten itself out. Every time they do an upgrade, and folks, if you use Skype, you know what I'm talking about. And I have Skype Unlimited. North American plan, unlimited everything. So I should be able to get group call set up with no problem whatsoever. And yet it just gets unpredictable. Every time they upgrade, something happens. So Skype, get your crap together or kiss my ass. I'll go back to using another auto dialer. Huh?
It's Microsoft. What do you expect?
Of course, Microsoft is the worst thing to happen to everything. They ain't
No, Apple is the worst thing to happen to everything. Microsoft is second worst.
Okay, well, Apple's been okay with me. This coming from the person who just has an iPhone. I have an iPhone. That's it. Everything else is PC-based. Before I go into the second half of the question, I'm going to go ahead and bring you in, Ted. You know the poll question. Do you believe there is a possibility that John, at win, lose, or draw, after the match, John will propose to Nikki at WrestleMania?
Yeah, I'm going to keep this answer short and sweet because, quite frankly, I don't care. But, yeah, I do think so. They're going to try to get their Randy Savage, Miss Elizabeth moment. And hopefully that's the last time we see Nikki Bella. That's all the time I want to vote for them. Because I am not looking forward to that match. I am not looking forward to having to sit through that dribble. And the sooner it's over, the better.
Well, there's another half to this. And I'm in the process of pulling up some of the other answers that were given on various parts of social media. The second half of the question is, considering, now remember, if Cena loses this match, you know that True Grit or the American Grit is about to start its second taping. Will you put into play the possibility that Nikki will swerve John for Miz and Maurice to go over so that they can disappear for a while and do television? Yes or no? Ted?
No, that's just way too convoluted. That's adding way too much into an already, what you could say is a already complex storyline as is. I don't think there's any more room to add that little dynamic. I think it's just going to be a straight match where I don't think Nikki swerves, but I think Nikki is the cause of the loss, and that's where they cue the emotional music and the angels, the waterworks in the crowd, and then get them off the stage.
Shane, your thoughts?
Well, that's in pro wrestling. We never say never to anything. I mean, but I'm with Ted. I think that kind of muddles the situation. But yeah, I could see her being, and that's not even a take that I had thought of when Ted brought that up. I see that being a possibility. She costs Cena the match, which, however long he's going to be on the movie set or taking time off for other obligations, I feel that could be a built-in comeback where he and Miz could pick right back up.
True. Want to thank people like Scott Simmons, Joey Maxey, Jeff Hansen, Mark Shutt, Spike Birch, Zach Williams over in the Grappling with Friendship message area over on Facebook. Scott agreed with the Macho and Elizabeth, name only, pretty much more fake. Joey Maxey made the comment, will John Cena pop the question? He has already popped the question in real life, and all this is an angle. So what? Like I said, I'm saying, will it happen at WrestleMania? So don't read too much into it. Everybody's got to try to go one step further. Hansen goes absolutely. Mark Shupp says, yep. Spike Birch said, I would hope it wouldn't get written like this if he's not going to. I'll agree to that. And Zach made the comment, only in storyline that dude's pretty much happy being single, I think. With the cars and house he's got, I think he might be too. I would be. Of course, a lot of people said that about Dale Earnhardt Jr. And what did he do? Screwed up. Okay, yeah, I'll say that anyway. But I do wish him and Amy the absolute best. And I hope Dale actually wins a race this year before he retires next year. I agree with Waltrip. I give him this year and next year he'll hang it up. Coming back over to it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and, for me personally, yes. I think there is an iota of a possibility that Nikki could pull a swerve on John that will basically keep John as a babyface character. Nikki's better as a heel, or at least non-existent on camera. Now, Miz and Maurice, Miz has been on a tear. And I think to put that in play, Miz has shown himself over the last year and a half to be bankable. I mean, yeah, with everything that's been happening on Talkin' Smack and all the house shows and all the stuff that has been going on, Miz has actually, in my book, stepped up his game. He is actually more of the shining star of this whole storyline. Sorry, Primo and Epico, I'm stealing that one from you. So, if Cena disappears and Nikki were to pull this, I can see how it would benefit, especially Miz. I don't think Maurice has that much to gain out of the whole situation. I think she's just as much of a weak link in this match as Bella. I would much rather this be John Cena versus Miz. We don't need a mixed tag. Not like this. But that's all into itself. So yeah, I mean, I'll put the opportunity out there. I think it works out better that way. But by the same token, we're talking about Nikki Bella in this regard, the person who has had more question as to whether or not she's a face or a heel than Big Show and Mark Henry combined in the last 5 years. But that's just me.
Well, Eddie,
go ahead.
Eddie, I got to cut you off here. I'm surprised you haven't figured out by now. The only reason this match is happening is because they need to film an episode of Toto Bella. That's it. There is no real underlying benefits for Miz or Maurice after this match. There's no benefits to John or Nikki after this match other than he gets their episode. That's it.
Yeah, that's the reason why I felt that they would do the proposal live at WrestleMania for the finale of Total Bellas.
Yeah, so why am I going to watch Toto Bellas now? Because I just saw it on WrestleMania.
Well, you know that they're going to find a way to do behind the scenes on that too that they won't show during WrestleMania. The second they break curtain and get back behind the stage, it becomes reality TV again. I mean, I have never watched say what?
Quote unquote.
Yeah, quote unquote reality TV. You know, my definition of reality TV: Alabama football, or Las Vegas Raiders football in 2 years. Let's shift.
Well, 3.
3? I thought it was 2. I thought it was going to be by 2019.
2020. Okay, so here, let me break it out to you. So for those that don't know, the NFL ownership has approved the Raiders to move to Las Vegas for the 2020 season by a vote of 31-1. The Miami Dolphins wanted to be the one kid that reminded the teacher, "Hey, you forgot to assign homework for the weekend, but hey, that's okay. It's just a reason to hate the Dolphins even more." But yeah, so the way it's going to work is right now the Oakland Raiders have 2 one-year options of the Oakland Coliseum for 2017, 2018, and there's a possibility that they can extend it out to the 2019 season. But they will not be playing a regular season game until 2020 when their stadium is done, because they basically ruled out Sam Boyd Stadium as a viable facility. Only holds 35,000. There's no security perimeter around there whatsoever. Outdated facilities for locker rooms, things of that nature. So you're probably going to see them play down there a preseason game for the next 3 years. And there's word that they may try to share the 49ers stadium with them for the 2019 season. If not, there will be a alternative neutral site, possibly Stanford Stadium.
Right. Yeah, I knew most of
or,
this.
Or Cal Berkeley.
Yeah.
One of those two colleges could play host to the 2019 season.
Yeah, I'd rather not be Cal Berkeley. I'm sorry. It's too.
I'd also seen the possibility of possibly the 2019 season in San Antonio.
Logistically, I don't see how they'd be able to pull that off. It's already a big enough screw up with the city of Oakland, Mark Davis, city of Las Vegas, Sheldon Alderson out there, who was an architect of putting the deal together originally and then pulled out when he wasn't getting an ownership stake, and pulled the stacks out of the deal as well. I don't see that logistically speaking it would be viable, nor would it make any sense for the Raiders to play one season in a market that there is essentially there's nothing there to tie into that market. It would be better for them to locate one of the larger colleges around in the Bay Area, so that they still get their Bay Area money. They can still get the Bay Area fans one more season of the Oakland Raiders before all hell breaks loose and the party starts in 2020.
Shane? Now, let me go ahead and ask this of everybody. The move in and of itself, and all of the speculations that's been put in play. You know, Goodell had to come out and make the statement that we will make every measure possible, blah, 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 blah. You know, the obligatory statement about for everybody panicking about an NFL team or a sports organization being in Las Vegas. We're talking about 21, 22, 23-year-old kids getting their first taste of something like Vegas. 90% of them have never been there. I'm pretty sure that the Raiders organization and the NFL is going to have a lot of things in place to discourage excessive visibility in certain places that they don't need to be. And I got tickled. I couldn't remember if it was Mike and Mike or Dan Patrick that made a comment about the strip joints in Vegas.
Oh, well, have you heard Dennis Hoff, the famous proprietor of the Moonlight Bunny Ranch and a number of brothels throughout the state of Las Vegas, has actually announced that he is going to be building a Raiders-themed brothel. It has already broken ground. It's going to cater to the enthusiastic sports fans, and he is already offering a 50% discount on services to Raiders players and coaching staff.
Oh, boy.
I read that article, and I thought, if they don't call it the black hole, they are missing marketing gold.
Or why not call it the silver on your back attack? I just thought of that. Thank you. Ted, take 85% of the credit.
We now return you to your family portion of the program.
Yeah, right. You know, I'm enthusiastic. I'm digging the move. I'm digging the idea. I wish it could be done sooner. But by the same token, you know, you have one of the largest tourist areas in the continental United States of America getting an opportunity to add. And I think for the first 3 years in particular, you're going to have some really pissed off locals because you're going to have a lot of people who want to go to the games. And I'm pretty sure the locals are going to try to act as quickly as they can because you do have fans that are going to want to see the team emerge. And then you're going to have, well, depending on the schedule, because you got transplant fans all over the place. Ted, I know you're a Raiders fan and you live in Idaho. Now, I'm a Falcons fan. I live in Alabama. Now, Shane, we've talked about your favorite teams and they just slipped my damn mind.
Well, unfortunately, I am a Miami Dolphins fan. I love our progressive thinking with owner Stephen Ross being the only one not to vote, and I say that completely tongue-in-cheek on the move. My father, it's funny you bring that up, he is a lifelong Raider fan since 1964, 65 when they were in the AFL.
Right.
He's excited about the move, but I think about it, you know, he lives in Alabama. He's not tied to Oakland. My thoughts on this, I hate it for one of the most passionate fan bases in all of sports in Oakland. The Executioner, Skeletor, all those longtime fans that you see on the camera angles that are just diehard. And they say, I'm not a Raider fan, I'm a Raider. I don't know if there's any, I mean, other than Green Bay, I don't know of any, you know, fan base that's that tied to their team in the National Football League. I mean, I'm sure people, the Steelers, Cowboys can make arguments.
Steelers.
Yeah, I'm excited about the move. I just hate the way the city of Oakland dragged its feet, and this is just my opinion on it. You know, the mayor really seemed to try to sweep in the last 24 to 36 hours with something, and the proposal was for, if I'm not mistaken, another stadium to share with the Oakland Athletics. And Mark Davis is basically like, what part of we don't want to be the only NFL team sharing a stadium with a Major League Baseball team do you not get? And they've had plenty of time, and to me it just seemed like posturing to try to get garner votes for the next election by trying to save face. But having said that, I hate it for those people in Oakland. I think it's this time, you know, for our younger listeners, this isn't the first time the Raiders have moved. They moved to Los Angeles. Al Davis packed them up and left. But you bring up the interesting dynamic when you talked about you wished it was sooner. That's the thought that came in my mind. Like, the Chargers are leaving San Diego for Los Angeles this year. The Rams left St. Louis for Los Angeles last year. Going back further, you know, when when Art Modell took Cleveland into Baltimore like a thief in the night, when Baltimore moved to Indianapolis. I can't remember a situation where we're 2 to 3 years away from the move, but we know it's happening. And the crazy thing is the Raiders are not the sad sack franchise they were from 2003 through 2015. This team is good. It has Super Bowl aspirations, and I just wonder how passionate, loyal those fans are going to be over the next 2 to 3 years if that team is in Super Bowl contention. Will they sit at home and not fork their money over knowing that they're lame duck fans, or they're going to just be it's interesting to me. I can't wait to see how it all plays out.
You have fans who are – go ahead.
Let me jump on that. Because I speak from the perspective of not just an Oakland Raiders fan, but from somebody that grew up in the Bay Area. I grew up 25 miles from Oakland. So I am that. The fan base you're talking about, I am that fan base. Mm-hmm. And there is a large majority of that fan base that is, we're not Oakland Raider fans. We are Raider fans. It doesn't matter if they played in Oakland, L.A., now Las Vegas. They will follow their team no matter what. There are going to be a bunch of the so-called die-hard Raider fans that are going to burn their jerseys and all that stuff just to get their 15 minutes of fame on YouTube. But I guarantee you, 2020, they'll be watching the opening day in Vegas with beers in hand and cheering on their Raiders because that's what Raider fans do.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of us that are pissed off that you're taking our team from our location. But let's look at Oakland. I don't know if either of you guys have ever been to Oakland, California, but the word cesspool does not even do it justice. There is a reason the Warriors are moving out of that complex into a brand new facility across the bay into San Francisco in 2019. There is a reason the Raiders are leaving that location. There's a reason that the A's don't want to be in that location. It's because that whole entire location, Hesperian Hagenberger Road, right around the airport, by the BART station, 70th, 71st Street, 72nd Street, that is drug alley. That is gang-controlled area where people go and buy drugs at all points of the day and night. There are murders down there, shootings, hijackings, carjackings, kidnappings, people just being general idiots down there 24/7. You cannot spend that kind of public money to keep professional sports franchises when your inner city and your infrastructure is crumbling all around you. I applaud Libby Schaaf for saying no public money, but I blame her for fumbling on this for so long and then all of a sudden saying, well, we didn't have enough time. You had 10 years to get this stuff figured out, and you couldn't do it. So good riddance to Oakland. I'm glad they're out. I'm glad they're getting a fresh start in Vegas. Viva Las Vegas, baby.
Shane, follow up?
Oh, I agree. Yeah, Raider fans, regardless of the city. Again, I speak of my own father in Alabama. He's always tied to Oakland, but he's excited about the move for Las Vegas. And I can't think of a better franchise to go to Las Vegas. I mean, if this were the Buffalo Bills or Jacksonville Jaguars, yeah, it'd create a little buzz because it's Las Vegas. But this is the Raiders, the swashbuckling Raiders going to Sin City with brothels and gambling, and it just seems like a perfect fit for buzz. And the league is much better for it when the Raiders are relevant. And now that they have a good team, I think the right coach in place in Del Rio, who grew up, he admitted the move was difficult for him growing up a Raiders fan. His parents were season ticket holders, but I think they've got the right template in place. Unlike you, I just wish it was sooner. 2020 is a long ways away. I do think it'd be pretty cool if this team got to another Super Bowl or won one more in Oakland. What a beautiful send-off.
It's kind of like going to your family and say, hi, Mom, hi, Dad, we're getting married in 3 years and we're going to do it in Russia. Or Mississippi, whichever's worse. I'm just kidding. We have listeners in Mississippi. They know I'm joking. All two of them. But
I hope, and of course, this seems like, idiotic to say, but we've seen crazier things. I hope they don't tamper with the colors. Keep it silver and black. Dear God, don't try to alternate anything.
No, the silver and black
needs... Nevada's the silver state. There'd be no point in changing color scheme.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Now, from that vantage point...
At least stole my line.
What?
That's what I was going to say. Nevada is the silver state, so it would make all the perfect sense in the world.
Very true. Very true.
Well, the only reason I jumped on it is I just passed a Nevada license plate on the road. So.
Nice.
Now, I'm going to throw this one out. We kind of alluded to it just at the top of the show. The videos went viral, and WWE got something right. Lo and behold, now the T-shirts are out. Southpaw Regional Wrestling shirts available through WWE Shop. They went red writing on white shirt. Talk about the epitome of old school. The only thing they didn't do was make it softball sleeves. Worth the wait? Collector's item in the making? Or don't even ask? Ted?
I have yet to watch this Southpaw thing. I'm waiting on it until I'm either really intoxicated or there's nothing better to do. So it'll be a nice surprise at that point. From what I've heard of it though, I think that it is. It has to come to the mind of Luke Gallows first of all, because that's the kind of stuff Gallows would do all the time. And I think it's absolutely brilliant, and it's finally nice to see them being able to put fun at themselves and not take themselves too seriously for once and have fun with something.
Shane?
When you first said a video from WWE going viral, Southpaw Wrestling was not what I was thinking off the top of my head, and I'll leave it at that. But I think striking while the iron is hot is good, because this has created a buzz. And like Ted, I haven't been able to watch it yet, but I look forward to it one day. It's just with all the Mania build-up and whatnot, that's been the focus. But I think on a rainy day coming up later in April or whatnot, I'll try to check this out. But the trailers and everything I've seen is pretty cool, and I think the T-shirt, any merchandise, if the people are buying it, if they're buying into what you're selling, as we've seen it, they are a cash machine. I mean, it'll be on Shop Zone yesterday, so to speak.
No,
So
it just came out this week.
it's hot.
It just came out this week. The shirt's for real. Now,
Oh yeah, that's why I made the joke. It'll be on the Shop Zone yesterday.
Oh, okay.
they'll get that bad boy printed quick.
yeah, I'm surprised they waited this long to get it out there, but it had to be out there for Mania Weekend, I'm sure. And I'm pretty sure they'll have some down at the souvenir stands too, because they put out 4 videos, and I've watched them all twice. And as someone who lived in the southeastern U.S. during the era of Southeastern, Continental, Chattanooga, Knoxville, Dothan, Pensacola, all the different companies that ran, or the companies that ran those cities, because Continental, Southeastern, same base, 2 different companies. Chattanooga, NWA, Knoxville, NWA. Chattanooga, I think Knoxville was the Fuller Golden Welch promotion. Then you had Dothan, which was also Fuller Golden Welch. Pensacola did the same deal. But then, of course, you also had the old school Georgia Championship Wrestling. When you go back, if you have been, a lot of younger fans aren't going to get this, but they'll see the surface level comedy involved. And there are people who genuinely steal the show in these videos. And it wasn't just Gallows, even though I'm sure he was one of the driving forces. John Cena actually threw props on his Twitter account to the person whose brainchild it was. Now, and also another person I know that had to be involved with it, Arn Anderson. He was down here for Continental under the mask as Super Olympia, teamed up with Jerry Stubbs, Mr. Olympia. Then he came out from under the mask, went as Arn Anderson, and then got the bolt over to Jim Crockett. But from there, they've done something totally off the cuff, totally un-WWE. I mean, totally. And they did a good job with it. It was fun to watch. So I give all the credit in the world to them. And it's like, I'd even made a comment myself. It's like, okay, where's the T-shirts? And lo and behold, about a week later, here come the T-shirts. It's like, hell yeah. And they're, I think, $25 available through shop.com. So, and I know that I know a bunch of people who are already buying them. Now, I don't think it's going to be a huge collector's item or something like that, because it's a niche. But I've seen weirder things go collector status. And while I've got it on the brain before we shift, I want to say thank you to a great friend of mine who also happens to be one of my managers at my day job, who knows that, of course, how tied I am into all of this. He was doing some shopping and ran across something. I'm pretty sure it was on the clearance aisle, but I'm okay with that. He said, I saw this and thought of you. I wanted you to have it. He gave me the 3-pack John Cena, The Rock, and Undertaker Pez dispensers. Cool as hell in my book, and I love it. So, Dave, thank you once again. I do appreciate it. But shifting over. Lord. I'm going to go ahead and throw this one out. Looking at the card right now as it stands. Main show and pre-show matches. In your opinion, which one of these matches has to perform to that level? Shane?
Oh, man. Well, I'm going to go. Can I take 3? Is that selfish for different reasons?
Do what you want.
I think Goldberg and Lesnar has to deliver, if for nothing more than it has to last longer than 5 minutes. I've never seen such a frustrated portion of the fan base with one particular wrestler in Goldberg, and I don't know if you happened to see the article that came out this week, and when I read the headline, even before I read the article, I said, oh my gosh, he's opened up a can of worms. Bill Goldberg did an interview, I believe, with CBS Sports. I want to get it right. It may not be the right site, but saying he is miserable right now with all the Muay Thai training, the massages, the weightlifting, the cardio, talking about he kept himself in decent shape for the last 13 years, but wrestling shape is different. But he says, I do it for my wife and kid and the fans. And sure enough, 90% of the comments are, what are you miserable for? You're making $650,000 per appearance, and you've been in the ring a total of 3.5 minutes. So I'm worried that Lesnar Goldberg this Sunday could be like the one in 2004 after those comments, even if they weren't made. Now, with both men not officially announced leaving, of course, but this being the smartest of smart mark crowds, the reaction could be ugly. So I think it has to deliver in some way to appease even the most hardest to please portion of the fan base. 2, I think Shane McMahon and AJ Styles has to deliver because the promo to me was, even though it worked, I mean, when you blur reality, it's so good to me on, as we all say, not just to me, on SmackDown, that, this isn't a match, Shane, where you can spend 10 minutes outside the ring going through a table, blah, blah. You've got to wrestle. And I'm on record. I think, heck, everybody is. This isn't the match we'd like to see AJ Styles in. But it's got to deliver, I think, for Shane, because now that's been put out there, even for those that may not even think about it. This isn't – I'm sure he'll still get his holy crap, Evel Knievel moment in the match. But I think Shane's going to have to work. I mean, he's going to have to work a wrestling-style match with AJ Styles. And I didn't know if Shane could do that at 31. I'm not sure if he can do it at 47. The other match I think has to deliver. I have no doubt in my mind that Owens and Jericho will have the crowd and they'll be just fine. But I think Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton has to deliver. It's the blue brand. Ratings have been higher, and Eddie has alluded to reasons why. They're not seemingly dominated by a heel GM authority figure. They also run 2 hours as opposed to 3. But this is Bray. I think it's his moment. I mean, this is his Mania moment. I mean, we all thought maybe it should have been 2 years ago wrestling Undertaker. This is a chance for him to project himself, I hope, because they're always looking for that next person to catch on with the mainstream. Could this be it? I mean, he's not saddled in a 6-man tag, a tag team match. He's not left off the show, God forbid, like what's happened before. There he is in the title match for the blue brand. So for 3 different reasons, I say those 3 different matches.
Ted Guinness.
I'm actually going to agree with everything that he said because he picked the matches that I hit. I'm going to go a little bit of a different slant on this, though. I'm going to say with the Lesnar Goldberg match, I honestly think that if there is any one match on this card that is going to get its swerve because it is needed, it's going to be the main event. And here's what and I know it's a pipe dream, but this is the only thing that I can see that saves that match. Obviously, you don't have the Money in the Bank crush, so you can't throw someone in there with the Money in the Bank stipulation. But what you can do AJ Styles, who is technically no longer employed by SmackDown, going up against the commissioner of SmackDown. What if AJ beats Shane, and as a reward, Stephanie signs AJ and puts him in the main event and makes it a triple threat match where AJ belongs?
I had a similar
Got
thought.
my attention.
I had a similar thought with Samoa Joe.
I could see Joe in that spot. I could see AJ in that spot. I think AJ would benefit more in that spot than Joe would right now.
Well, remember, Joe, of course, would be part of that authority set up between Stephanie and Triple H, and also you don't have anything revolving around the authority in the title match. The only, but by the same token, you've got a non-sanctioned match between Triple H and Seth Rollins, which I'm beginning to think that if they put something together, you know, kind of like the Daniel Bryan situation. Okay, fine, I beat you in this non-sanctioned match. You put me in the title match. I thought of that one as well, but they didn't play that one out on Monday Night Raw, at least to my knowledge. The last thing they did was the sit down where Hunter kicked the chair or kicked the table, yada yada. Was that all three, or was there one more? Ted?
I'm sorry, is that?
No, I didn't know if you had another one you wanted to throw out there.
No, those were the ones I wanted to throw out. So I got nothing more to add on that one.
For the record, it has been confirmed Bill Goldberg will be driving one of his muscle cars down the rampway. That way he doesn't gas out halfway down. Number two, Stone Cold will be actually driving a horse and buggy for The Undertaker. Either that or they're going to bring back Brother Love for one. Oh, wait, no, he works for Impact, which I ignore now. Sorry.
Real quick, because my phone's about to die, and I'm not sure how much cell phone zone I have left here. So you've heard the set is going to actually be a roller coaster. Are they going to actually run the roller coaster during Mania, and can they put like superstars in for a distraction thing? That would be cool as hell.
I've been watching the construction videos, and I honestly don't know if it's set up strong enough to carry somebody like Big E. Now, I can see Kofi riding the damn thing.
I could actually see them reinforcing it, and that's where the New Day ends up hosting them.
That'd be
or
hilarious.
Or at least has a segment or a skit or something.
Yeah, and knowing the way that they've got it set
Bring
up,
back,
I
was
can.
going to say bring back Santino Marella as the ride operator.
Oh, that's funny. What about Hornswoggle?
No, you must be over this line to be able to operate the ride. I mean, you could throw that in as a comedy angle and one off, but yeah, I don't think Swoggle would want to do that right now. But did some bridges get burnt when he got cut?
That's funny. You said your phone's about to go boom?
Yeah.
Well, tell you what, you want to throw shameless plugs before you run?
No, I got nothing to plug. Just have a good night. Drive safe.
All right, brother. Be careful out there, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, have a good one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice, Ted Guinness, always worth the wait. For me personally, on which matches have to deliver, I am going to join the bandwagon and say Lesnar Goldberg has to deliver. I think it's under immense pressure. I think this match could have done so much better and had less pressure on it if the Universal title was not in the mix. If you'd have just made it the rebound between Lesnar and Goldberg, that would have been beautiful. You could have kept the Universal title in the Jericho-Owens match, and it would have gotten its due. Let them run with the championship because they work with it better. Lesnar is not that big match championship opportunity wrestler. Goldberg still has not broken the 5-minute mark. Theoretically speaking, I don't even think he did in the Rumble. But
that's a question I had for you, Eddie, because I thought of this since we're on this match. Do you think it even makes sense if Lesnar squashes Goldberg in 3 minutes or less? Because I could see them going that route the way Lesnar has been jobbed at every opportunity. I'm not sure even that saves it.
Well, the traditional Vince school of logic is The one who does the honors at the go home normally gets the honors at the show. So you had Goldberg spear Lesnar, and Goldberg standing tall with the title at the end of the segment, which is the automatic tip-off. Lesnar wins.
Yes.
If they do, here we go. I'm just gonna go and sit back and say, is Lesnar going to go more full-time than part-time? Because the last thing that the hardcore WWE fan base needs right now is another part-time champion. At least when Owens was champion, he was there. We don't need a special event for the champion to show up. Although we might, I'm going to bring one up in a few minutes. So I feel so bad for Ronaldo. That statue's horrible. You seen what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, the statue, absolutely.
Oh, God, I'd rather have the airport named after me. And I think it was Mike, and both Dan Patrick and Mike asked the question, which would you rather have, an interstate, a statue, a venue, or an airport named after you? Which one would you take?
What was that, an interstate?
An interstate, a statue, a airport, or a venue?
Oh, I guess venue for myself off the top of my head. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I first instinct said airport because airports very rarely really change names. Because Reagan's been Reagan forever, JFK's been JFK forever. Hartsfield became expanded, and then Birmingham International became whatever the hell it is this week. But lo and behold, it's like I have a hard time flying. I have a hard time dealing with the concept that even when I'm gone, if I have my name on an airport, yeah, we're going to fly into Layne. We're going to fly into Layne about 2:00 in the morning. No, you're not. But yeah, I felt so bad for Ronaldo. The guy who created the statue has been lambasted in social media and in the press for good reason. The statue's horrible. And then, of course, we now have the factor that Ric Flair is going to have a statue unveiled this weekend.
Just saw the picture before we went live, and it is gorgeous.
Yeah, they got it right. Shaquille O'Neal has a statue that's being unveiled, and he's very happy with it. I would actually ask about me getting a statue done, but then by the same token, yes, I am that vain.
You're so vain.
I probably think that song's about me, too.
Mm-hmm.
The iconic Carly Simon track. That's all I can say. Speaking of, as we normally, we'll tell you what, let me give the balance of my three here, because I did go with three. Lesnar Goldberg, it has to live up to the hype. It has to supersede the hype, because everybody's going to be looking at it through hypercritical eyes. The other one, also from the Red brand, the Fatal 4-Way elimination for the Raw Women's title. The wild card in this equation is Nia Jax. She has shown me something since her call-up, but she hasn't shown an incredible amount, other than the fact that if she was supposed to be the second coming of Karma, Awesome Kong, she's fallen short. She has the look, she has the size, she opens her mouth, sounds like a soccer mom from Jersey. I'm sorry, but it's true. Or Indiana, take your pick. Yeah, I know that's a radical shift. They have so many ways they can play this match. But there's also so many ways this match can mess up. They keep baiting for Sasha to pin Bayley and Charlotte have the final "I told you so." Sasha played in the Yak Yak Monday night. Bayley understands friendship is friendship and business is business, and she said, "I will win the title this Sunday from you." To which you got a little bit of a whiplash from Bayley on that, and then they had Nia come out to try to quash that before everybody started noticing. Do you put the belt back on Charlotte and reestablish that she gets two huge Mania moments in a row? Do you put the belt on Sasha for everything that she's been through in the last calendar year, especially the injuries? Do you keep the belt on Bayley and give her that moment? Or do you put it on Nia and shock the world? This match has to deliver in more ways than one. You know that Sasha, Charlotte, and Bayley can go. They've shown it time after time. I don't know if Nia can. I hope she can. I don't expect her to, but I have hope that she can. Shane, you have a thought on that?
I'm like you. I think Nia Jax, if we're playing Sesame Street, which one is not like the other in this match? And I wonder the story they'll tell if they work around her instead of with her, so to speak. I know you know where I'm going with that, but allow those three to do their thing and bounce off her like a pinball when the moment is right. Nia Jax will be the shock. I mean, because then you would create a true chase with a monster in the women's division. Bayley, I think it's a feel-good moment, and I've made my position clear if I haven't here. I like Bayley. I really do. I think she resonates with a portion of the fan base that's pretty darn cool. Having said that, she's not my personal favorite, but that's neither here nor there. And I'm a huge Charlotte Flair fan, but I would actually go with Sasha Banks, because then with Sasha, it opens up the not like any one of them winning doesn't open up any other possibilities for a feud, but I think Sasha with the belt would be fresh.
What do you think about the possibility that Nia swerves everybody and gives takes them out, and Sasha's the one who wins with Nia Jax as her new security guard?
We'd have a Shawn Michaels and Diesel situation.
Yeah. I'll agree to that. Yeah, but I see Sasha going over in this one. On personal note, yeah, I'm going to go and play prediction right now. I see Sasha going over. And for the record, yes, I already kind of played it. I got Lesnar going over in the Universal title match. The third match that I feel has to deliver. Baron Corbin, Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental title. The Intercontinental title, ever since going around the waist and over the shoulder of Dean Ambrose, has become immaterial and irrelevant. I'm sorry. It has. Much to the same degree that the United States title became irrelevant for a while around the waist of Dean Ambrose during the Shield run. Ambrose has match after match and appearance after appearance, but you don't really see them billed as Intercontinental title matches. The main belt, the women's belt, and the tag belt have all been defended more than the IC title. They spent more time setting up a storyline than setting up a match. Big difference there, kids. Baron has shown a lot of improvement in his game over the last couple of months. I think Dean Ambrose can pull okay, I'm going to get in trouble for this at Fast Eddie Layne on Twitter, at Beyond Ringside on Twitter. Take your shot. I think Dean Ambrose can help pull a really good match out of Baron Corbin. But can Baron Corbin genuinely reciprocate with somebody like Dean Ambrose? This match has so many possibilities for going wrong, but only a few for genuinely going right. And if they come out with a viable game plan, I really think they can pull this off. Put the belt on Baron Corbin. Sorry, different Corbin there. Damn. Put the belt on Baron Corbin and let him run with that for a while as a strong heel champion. But like I said, this match could go horribly wrong. This match can go incredibly right. It just depends on how they put it together. From there, I just have one other question before we shift off directions. In the WWE World Title match, who in the hell is the heel and who in the hell is the babyface between Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, Shane?
Your guess is as good as mine. Bray seems to have been positioned as the heel leader of the cult, with Randy breaking away, but seemingly since that point, everything Randy Orton's done has been extremely heelish. If you're doing that to the memory of Sister Abigail or her site. And by the way, I know I sound so smarky on this, but I'm just going to say it. That was terrible. in my opinion. That's the final image you see on WWE programming going into Mania, is Bray in the ring and Orton sticking the cross in the ground. That was so anticlimactic to me. I don't know your personal thoughts on that, but I just thought, man, what a letdown.
It sucked. I would have rather seen Randy fake out Bray and sneak in from behind and blindside him. Be the Viper.
And I agree. And on that note, I agree with you on Baron Corbin and Ambrose. And isn't it amazing? Neither one of them were on the Go Home SmackDown Tuesday.
I
mean, now, I don't know about you, but to me, that is a tremendous oversight. I mean, those two, they may still be on the pre-show. I get it, but that's not a throwaway match. That's for the Intercontinental title. We can't even get a taped promo or a backstage or any kind of I mean, I don't know. I mean, if they want that match to succeed, showcase it.
Like I said, there's so many things going on this whole thing right now. I've made the statement in public for the last week. There are only 3 matches that I'm interested in seeing on this show. One is on the damn pre-show. Cruiserweight title. Aries Neville. Look, that's going to remind me of the Lakers Celtics 84-85. Because you're going to have 2 top tier, top flight. I'll use the JR. Grade A restaurant quality superstars who can go on the freaking pre-show. But you're going to put John Cena, Nikki Bella, Miz, and Maurice on the freaking main card. This is not a WrestleMania card. This is lackluster at best. Aries Neville, I'm really stoked about. Owens Jericho, I am stoked about. Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, I'm stoked about. Because I think all 3 matches I have high hopes for these matches. But those are the 3 that have my interest peaked. What about you?
I missed the first one. You said Orton and Wyatt and Jericho Owens. What was the third?
Aries Neville.
Yeah. And that's something we haven't talked a whole lot about him. But Austin Aries, I mean, we talked about the AJ Styles, the Samoa Joes, the Punks, and the Daniel Bryans. I just want to take a second. This isn't lost on Eddie, I know, but how cool for Austin Aries at WrestleMania, a guy that was in Ring of Honor on and off for a decade, was in TNA as Austin Starr, then a double Austin Aries, got that run with the TNA title. Has been a commentator in that, but I mean, taking all that into the equation, I think it's pretty damn cool that Austin Aries is on the WrestleMania card. And something you brought up about Samoa Joe when Ted was on, about possibly him being inserted into the main event, that makes all the sense in the world to me, Eduardo, because Joe, since he's been called up, the attack on Rollins, the way he's associated with Triple H, the sit-down promo that was so good, going over on Zayn. I mean, one of the few things they've gotten right in 2017, in my opinion, is the way they booked and handled Samoa Joe. And he doesn't have a match on the WrestleMania card. So when you bring that up, I'm getting excited off a possibility, which that excites me. If he's inserted into that match in some way, shape, or form with Goldberg, Lesnar, the buzz in that crowd is going to be huge. And I think just off what you said, both of us are worried for the feedback, the negative aspect of the fan base. Joe being inserted could flip the switch on that thing and do a world of good.
Oh, definitely. Tell you what, we are going to go ahead and take our scheduled top of the hour break. We had that little bit of a miscue a little bit earlier in the hour, so that's why the break is running a little bit late. Hang tight. Hour 1 in the books. When we come back, there's a lot on the table because I know Shane's got some in the chamber and he's ready to take aim, 6-shooter and all. From there's other things in play. Ring of Honor, WrestleCon. How the NBA commissioner just seems to stick his foot in his mouth every once in a while, and how ESPN has finally jumped the shark. Hang tight. You are listening to the Shooters Gallery on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network and ProWrestlingRadio.net.
This is the voice of excellence at Excellent Professional Wrestling, at Not the Tool Man, Tim Taylor. Usually I'm locked into Excellent Professional Wrestling, but now you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.